This question reads, a panel reviews 6 contract bids, H, J, K, R, S, and T. No 2 bids have the same cost. Exactly one of the bids is accepted. The following conditions must hold. All right, so we have H, J, K, R, S, and T. We have 6 bids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have from lowest to highest. All right, now let's go to the rules. Rule number 1. The accepted bid is either K or R and is either the second or the third lowest in cost. All right, so we can draw this. If not K, then R. If not R, then K. And we know it's either going to be second or third. So if not second, then it's third. And if not third, then it's second. So we know that one of these two is going to be accepted. And they're either going to be K or R. All right, rule number 2. H is lower in cost than each of J and K. So we have H lower than J and K. And so that tells us that J is not first and K is not first because H has to be lower than it. And then H is not 6th or 5th. All right, rule number 3. If J is the 4th lowest in cost, then J is lower in cost than each of S and T. So if J is 4th, then J is lower than S and T. Contrapositive, if J is not lower than S and T, then J is not 4th. Rule number 4, if J is not 4th lowest in cost, then J is higher in cost than each of S and T. So if J is not 4th, then J is higher than S and T. So we have ST lower than J. So if S and T are not lower than J, then J is 4th. And the last rule, rule number 5, either R or S is the 5th lowest. So if R is not 5th, then S is 5th. And if S is not 5th, then R is 5th. So we have an RS binary here, 5th. This also tells us that H is not 4th, because if H were to be 4th, we know J and K are higher than it, but there aren't enough spaces for both J and K. Now, let's think about our J4 rule. Let's place J 4th. If J is 4th, we have our RS binary. We know that J is going to be lower than S and T. Well, that makes our RS binary into an S, and this has to be a T, and then we're left with H, K, and R. Well, we know that K is higher than H, so H can't be 3rd, and K can't be 1st. So that means 1st is either going to be H or R, 3rd is either going to be K or R, and 2nd is going to be either H, K, or R. So this is our first option if J is 4th. Now what happens if J is not 4th? J is not 4th. We have our RS binary. Now J is not 4th means that S and T are going to be before J. So that means J can't be 1st and J can't be 2nd because S and T are before J. Likewise, S and T can't be 6th. And then we still know that K is not 1st because H is before it. And we have our H not 4th and H not 6th. So as you can see, in this scenario, J can't be 1st, 2nd, 4th, or 5th. So J is either going to be 3rd or 6th. So let's draw both of those options out. If J is 3rd, we know S and T are going to be lower than it. So that makes 5th R, because S and T are both lower than J. So that places an ST binary here. But then we have either a TS in 2 and then a J in 3. Remember, rule number 1 tells us that one of 2 and 3 is accepted, and it's going to be either K or R. So one of 2 and 3 has to be a K or R, and in this scenario, we don't have that. So that means J can't be in 3, meaning the only other place J can go if J is not 4th is 6. So let's try out this second option. We have J 6th, which means we have our binary. It doesn't have to be an R this time. And we know H can't be 4th because K has to be higher than H. And we still know K can't be 1st. And that's all we know in this second rule. So we know either J is going to be 4th or J is going to be 6th. So now we have our 2 options, all of our deductions, our rules, and our setup. Let's go ahead and hit the questions.